Good Wednesday morning to all the people on the show, E60 TV and the Diamond Factor. Welcome to another episode of The Gem Hunter. My name is Barry Mixon, and I am a gemological storyteller. So let me tell you a story. I spent 14 years in the United States Marine Corps, and I joined when I was 17. I literally turned 18 in boot camp. And one of the best ranks in the whole chain of command of the Marine Corps is the rank of the gunnery sergeant, or gunny for short. A gunny is the kind of person, because it doesn't make a difference if it's male or female. There's something magical about that rank, 3 stripes up and 2 stripes down. There's something magical about a gunnery sergeant. A gunnery sergeant is the kind of person that when he or she asks you to do something, no matter how crazy it is, you just wind up saying, okay. For instance, if Gunny Johnson would call me, Sergeant Mixon, yes, Gunny, you and I don't want to do this story by myself, so I'm going to include you. You and Lance Corporal, whatever your name is, fill in the blank. You and Lance Corporal, your name. What I want you to do is I want you to go on the other side of that hill. And on the other side of that hill, there are 50 enemy troops. They got tanks. They got machine guns. They have been in place for over a month waiting for you. What I want you and Lance Corporal, whatever your name is, what I want you to do is go over that hill, get a book that I left over there, defeat the enemy, come back, and I want you to do it all by 1,600 hours. Is that clear? Now, your first thought is, oh my God, Gunny's tripping. First of all, he didn't even let me call home to tell my mom this is the last day on earth. This is impossible. What is Gunny asking us to do? But because of what a gunnery sergeant means. A gunnery sergeant is that guy, that woman who has been through everything before. A gunny is the person that you hear stories about where how Gunny Jones went and took on a whole battalion by himself with just one rifle. A gunny is that person, Gunny Jackson. And you know how she went in there with 5 bullets and just a desire to win, and she won. That's what it means to be a gunnery sergeant, because you know what a gunnery sergeant has been through in their life. I look at Lance Corporal, whatever your name is. We look at each other and we look at Gunny, and together we just go, okay. Because we trust what Gunny is saying. We trust that Gunny has been there before. And if Gunny says that we can get through something, we believe. No matter how crazy it looks to us, we believe that is true. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here this morning to tell you, you need to find your own inner Gunny. Because that is the only way you're going to get through the next element in our journey of the stories of the power of storytelling. So there's new people on the show, so let me refresh. As I told you in the beginning, this is a journey of the 8 elements of a story. The first element is the once upon a time, which set up the framework of you understanding stories. The second element is sound. When you begin to develop that direction of where you want to go in your life, the sound, you hear that drum beat in your heart and in your mind. The next element is passion, where you begin to believe that you can open up that restaurant, you can go to school and get that degree, you can find a relationship that you really want to be in. The next element is the hero. The hero is the bridge between you and the audience. The audience believes you because you have seen it. You understand. You've been there, and you feel wonderful in your life. You're paying your bills. You got a wonderful job. You have a person in your life that loves you. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes the element that we're going to talk about today. And that element is the antagonist, the obstacle, the adversary. That is the thing that you must get through in order to get to the rest of the elements. You cannot, in fact, the antagonist is the most important part of any story. You don't even have a story without the antagonist. And just as an example of just how important the antagonist is to a story, think about it. We live in a highly polarized world. We don't get along with anything. Everyone is opposite: male, female, black, white, Democrat, Republican, gay, straight, old, young. Everything is different. City, urban versus farms or farmers, rural. But the one thing that all of us can agree on, the one thing that I absolutely know that everyone has gone through in their life is the whole concept of you all have been through some beep-a-doo beep in your life. And this is a family show, so you know what I mean. We all have been through times in our life. In fact, some of us are going through it right now where it didn't seem like tomorrow was going to come. When I say the antagonist, I'm not talking about a bad day where someone cut you off on the road or your boss yelled at you or the report that you got a bad grade. I'm talking about the days when you just wake up in the morning, you say to yourself, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, you're already wishing that the day was over. I'm talking about the times in your life where you didn't see how tomorrow was ever going to come. I'm talking about the moments in your life that we've all gone through where it seemed like it was dark all the time. You know, those times in your life where the sun came out once a week on a Tuesday, and if you didn't wake up early enough, you missed it. That's the antagonist. And we've all been here before. The reason why you have to find your inner gunny is because what the beauty of a gunnery sergeant is that it reminds you that you've been through this before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not your first rodeo. This is not the first time you've gotten your butt kicked. Think back. Remember when you couldn't pay that bill before? You made it through that. Remember those times when your husband, your wife was driving you crazy, your kids, you were ready to just like, can you just get rid? Why did I even have that child? Remember those days? And somehow you got through those days. That's what you have to remember. See, the most beautiful thing of understanding where you fit into the story, how does the story relate you, is once you understand how a story works, then you can make the antagonist work for you. Think about it. All the superhero movies that you've ever watched in your life, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all of them, the Hulk, all of them, no matter what the movie, there's always that moment in that movie where that superhero is facing against something unbelievable odds. It's facing against a robot, a machine, a man, a village, a town, something so destructive, something so powerful that it's just destroying whole cities. Millions of people, depending on the superhero, millions of people are being killed or have the potential of being destroyed or eliminated. And it's in that moment in that movie where you, as the movie goer, sitting there asking yourself, man, is this the movie that Superman's going to die? And you say to yourself, that's impossible. But in your mind, you say to yourself, how could he or she ever make it through this? How could he or she win against such unbelievable odds, against such a monster, an adversary as the one he or she is facing? And this is the part that most people miss when they watch superhero movies. If you notice, the superhero never gains more power. They don't get more superhero powers. Whatever they came there with, That's what they got. But the real difference, the real beauty of understanding the antagonist is understanding that moment when Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Wonder Woman remembers that they've been through this before. That they've been through this before, and despite how dark it is, despite nothing, knowing somewhere in the back of your head, they thinking to themselves, how am I to get through this? And they do. That's what makes them superheroes. How is that any different? How is that any different than what you or some of us are going through? All of us are going through right now. Here's the scene. Let me give you your orders, Lance Corporal, whatever your name is. Lance Corporal, whatever your name is. I just got the orders from headquarters. And it turned out that there's an enemy force called COVID that's already killed over 380,000 Marines, killing 4,000 Marines every day. In fact, intelligence just said that the enemy, COVID-19, has two new divisions, one that's 50% more contagious and the other that's 70% more contagious. And the reinforcements that we thought we were going to get, i.e. the virus, the vaccine, headquarters said that we're not getting help or relief from that for months. This is January. We're not going to see that till June. And on top of it, Lance Corporal, whatever your name is, we have another enemy on our flanking position called economic destruction, called insurrection. Two new enemies that's facing us. So there's a point in that conversation when those orders are being given to you that Gunny is going to ask you, look you straight in the eye and say, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to get through this antagonist? How are you going to make it through here? Because it's no different whether you're in the Marine Corps. Some of you are in the Marine Corps every day fighting forces that you don't even know how you're going to do it. Some of us right now have a stack of bills on your desk that you have no idea how you're going to pay. Some of us who have children are trying to decide how to deal with the education of your child versus going back into a school that may or may not have the enemy in the school. Some of us who have lost our businesses, lost our homes, lost cars, can't pay their car note, their mortgages. How is that any different than the things that the superheroes had to go through, or what I had to go through, and millions of others like myself as a person who were a Marine or Army or Navy or Air Force? The antagonist. When you think about a movie, last week I talked about the hero and Bruce Wayne. Think about that movie. Go on YouTube and look at that movie when he goes back into the cave. Think about what Batman was. Batman had to face his greatest fears. Those of you who didn't watch the movie, he fell in a well that was about 10 feet, 15 feet deep. He broke his leg at the bottom of the well, and he was about 8, 9 years old. And imagine the sheer fear that he felt. His leg is broken. He doesn't even know if someone knows that he's down here. And for hours, he had to hear bats. Thousands and thousands and thousands of bats. Imagine how terrifying that is for him as a child. And some of us are still dealing with the fear that we experienced as children. Imagine what he felt. Years later, as he grows up, he goes back to Wayne Manor. He goes down into the same cavern, the same cavern that he found himself in so many years ago as a child. He raises his light, and above him is his fear. Thousands and thousands of bats surround him. He extends his hand out as far as he can, and he breathes in, and he becomes Batman, overcoming the antagonist, overcoming the obstacle, overcoming the adversary. That's the secret, ladies and gentlemen. The secret to understanding how to use your story is to understand that no, you can't control the antagonist. No, you can't control or you can't stop the antagonist, because guess what? Every time you watch a superhero movie, isn't there a new enemy, a new adversary each and every movie that Superman has to keep going through? Superman never gets to the point where he says, okay, I'm good. All the enemies are taken care of. I'm good. I can just rest and go to Florida and just relax. No. Everything that he or she had done in his life, once upon a time, the sound, the passion, the hero, has only prepared him to what we have to go through today, what we have to go through in our lives right now. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you already know I had an interesting relationship with my mom. I did. I went to therapy 3 times because my mom never told me she loved me. I'm 60 years old. I still do not remember my mother ever saying that I love you. But that and it messed me up for so many years, but I realized I was looking at it the wrong way. I did not understand. No, my mother was not the soft, loving, cuddly, let me make you some cookies. My mother was my first gunnery sergeant. I didn't realize that. I should have joined the Marine Corps and went to boot camp. And when that drill instructor was calling me names, I should have said to myself, you know what? Okay, Sergeant Flood. My mother's been calling me that name since I was 4. The gunny, find your inner gunny. Find your inner gunnery sergeant where you can use it to empower you. And once you find that place, once you are reminded of what you used to do in the past, how you've overcome the obstacle and the adversary in the past, then you can move to the next element, which we'll talk about next week, which is called awareness, the most beautiful element. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Marines, I invite you to discover your own inner gunnery sergeant. I salute you and tell you, Semper Fi. Go out there and have an outstanding Marine Corps day.
I am on mute. Again, as always, going through the new year, but that's okay. Live and learn, right? Good morning, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Barry Mixon for coming on, as always, every Wednesday, giving us about powers of stories. He is truly, truly an awesome storyteller. With that, we are going to go right into our other section of the show. And I am so, so excited about this because for this Wednesday and two other Wednesdays, you are going to see some powerful women come up because there's a big, big gala coming on under I'm co-founder of another group that I'm so proud of called Celebrate You Women Embracing Wellness. And we are going to bring some women and the co-founder and visionary today because we're going to be celebrating Women of the Year. There's going to be a gala and somebody's going to be Woman of the Year from last year. So these women were picked monthly that we seen that spark, that passion that they had inside of them. So I want to read you for Celebrate You. If you don't know what Celebrate You Women Embrace Wellness is, which you're under a rock if you don't, it is a movement. I'm starting with that. It is a movement. And I want to read it because I want to make sure I get this right. It is designed for women to truly celebrate their lives spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially to reach for their highest version. And we are truly celebrating ourselves. We can then transform what? The lives of others, families, communities, the nation, and ultimately the world. So I'm going to go right into it. I'm going to bring up the co-founder visionary, Mrs. Queen, as I call her, Miss Lawana Bradford. Hello, lady in the room.
Hello, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for having us on your show.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm a part of this movement. Yeah, this is important. So we have some other two of the ladies waiting in the green room, but I want you to because see, you are like I'm telling you, you are the visionary of this group. You just like the drive and everything. So let's talk. Let's let you talk a little bit. I'll celebrate you. I told, and then about the gala.
Thank you, Barbara. And as Barbara just mentioned, Celebrate You truly is a movement. And we realize that with where women are in the world, not just here in the US, but globally, that we are the cornerstone of the family. And when we can become the best version of ourselves, not to repeat what Barbara has already read, but truly in all areas, including that financial element, getting through and breaking through the financial barriers that have impacted so many women for so many years, then we can drive change throughout our families, throughout the world. And that's what it's about. It's now we're now in a global community, a global family, and we've seen that like never before in what we experienced in 2020. And so Celebrate You, I believe, was born for such a time as this to create unity, to create camaraderie, and create movement to fuel the world to be a better tomorrow for future generations.
Awesome, awesome. And like I said, we're here to as far as the gala.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, and the gala. So last year we noticed in April with the shutdown that there were women within our community, within our movement, who were rising above and beyond just their sphere of personal life issues and reaching out and connecting and lifting up and supporting and encouraging others. And so that's where Celebrate You Woman of the Month was born. And we started in April all the way through the end of the year. And we decided, let's have a gala where not only are we saluting all of these women, but we are recognizing the woman who we believe really represents everything that Celebrate You stands for. And the gala is February 6th at 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can get your tickets on Eventbrite or follow us on Celebrate You Women Embracing Wellness. We love for you to check out our community. And if you like what you see, join us. And the tickets are only $10. And for the $10, what I love about this is we are truly a community that's giving back and paying it forward. And we are donating 100% of the proceeds to Help Heal Humanity, a charity that works internationally to support the most vulnerable of our population, which is our children. So we're just so excited to be involved in making the world a better place.
Awesome, awesome. So with that, as we said, we have some of the women that's been honored last year per month. So I'm going to bring them up right now and just give them a
Yay.
little shout out. Here we go. Oh, look at this.
Look
They're
at
coming
her.
in.
Woo-hoo,
Good
Hello,
morning.
ladies.
Good morning.
Hello and good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are y'all doing? Oh, good, good, good. So as we said, we are celebrating. We are celebrating, and we're going to see on February 6th who's going to be Woman of the Year. So you're all excited? I know you're like, oh, this is, come on.
We're very excited.
I wish I had balloons or something right
Nervous.
now.
With hip swirls, hip swirls.
I cannot do a hip twirl without thinking about the two of you. I just want you to know that.
Well, I want everybody to get to know you just a little bit here. So I want each lady to just give maybe a 30-second intro in what you do. I'll start with Miss Maya.
Good morning. So I am Vismaya Rubin, founder of Living in Gratitude Today. I'm a teacher, speaker, best-selling author, but my favorite role is that of a gratitude gangster. What? And I show people really how to tap into that space of gratitude, especially when life is challenging.
Wow. Okay, Miss Josie.
Good morning. I'm Josie Edwards. I represent a company called Paparazzi Accessories. The name of my business is PJ Blings, where I sell $5 jewelry. And I sling hope. I give women an opportunity to change their lives and their budgets. So I really enjoy what I do as I coach, mentor, sell, recruit. I love what I do.
Okay, I just got to add to Josie. She has over 500 women under her. That's recruiting for paparazzi. Give her a
We
hand on
have
that alone.
728 as of
Oh,
last
okay,
night.
my fault.
Correction.
It has really grown. Yes, it's been wonderful. It's been a very wonderful journey, and I love it.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God! See, shine that number. Shine that number. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Thank
We need to
you.
know that. And Miss America Supermom,
Good
Lachelle.
morning. Good morning. Thank you
Good
all for
morning.
having me today. I am Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom. First thing is I want to say, hey, Josie, we need to have an interview on my podcast because you need to
Okay.
share with others how you can duplicate in your business like that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So I am mother of 15. I'm a podcast host, an author, and a speaker, and my platform is mental wellness. I struggle with depression myself, and now I am about empowering women to overcome their limiting beliefs and transform their mindset.
Awesome, awesome.
Awesome.
Yes, yes. And I want to do, Luana, you didn't really do your introduction, so I want to give you that little time to do that as well.
Oh, okay. Well, this is about the ladies, but visionary and co-founder of Celebrate You, Women Embracing Wellness, but I'm also a dualpreneur where I am a financial analyst with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, but I also have two businesses. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years, a mortgage consulting company and a business management firm, and it's the Bradford Group as well as the Bradford Group Consulting. And our goal is to help businesses and individuals improve their lives, improve their financial position, one strategy at a time.
Awesome, awesome. Yes. So before we get into just another question about celebrating you, we need to go to our wonderful sponsor. We'll be right back.
I'm hanging on your every word, the love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound, 'cause when you do,
Okay. Now that we got a little fun here. So we're right here. We're with the ladies to celebrate you. That was yes. Last year they were honored monthly each month, and then this time on February 6th, we are going to be doing a gala for them and crowning, as I can say, the Woman of the Year for 2020. So with that, we got a chance to get to know them just a minute ago, and I want to go to each lady and just for them to explain this in a few words of how they look at what celebrate you means to them. So I want to start off with Miss Maya, because I know she has to go off in a minute. So Miss Maya, can you just give us a few minutes on what celebrate you means to you?
Yes. So, as women, we often forget, and I use that in quotations. We're taught not to brag, to talk about ourselves. We're taught not to celebrate our wins. And for me, it's really about taking time to acknowledge where I am and showing other women to acknowledge where they're at and celebrate the wins, the small wins, the big wins, the ones in between. It's easy to remember the birth of a child. It's easy to remember when you bought a new house, something huge. But what about those small things? Like, I wasn't feeling great today, but I got up and I did my exercises anyways. Or, I wasn't feeling great, but I decided to get up and move my body, whatever it is. And I know those were very similar choices, but really about celebrating wherever you are, regardless of the circumstances, and acknowledging and paying attention to when you do something that's outside or a little bit out of the ordinary for yourself and a little bit different, and throw your hands up and, yay, look at me, I did great. And it's not about bragging to the whole world. If you choose to do that, that's perfect. But it's about really just being in touch and looking, holding that same mirror up for yourself that you do for other people. When they celebrate, when they do something well, you're so ready to be their cheerleader. Be your own cheerleader.
Awesome. Yes, we do have to be our own cheerleader because sometimes a lot of people will not. So that's why you got to really, believe in yourself. As I always say, I always talk about the PPD real quickly. You're talking about believing in yourself, loving yourself, and then you can celebrate yourself even easier. And then other people see you celebrating yourself. So awesome with mine. Now,
Can I say something real quick? We read in an article about a year ago, and it was exactly what Vismaya was saying, that if you can't expect the world to applaud and celebrate you if you are unable to celebrate yourself.
I agree, and the other part of it is it's such a great motivator and it's such a great opportunity. It builds self-esteem. It's a great motivator because you start to see the little things you do and those little things build on each other and become big things. So, and that's where my gratitude practice comes in, is really taking a look at what did I do well today?
awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go to Josie. What do you see celebrate you as?
Celebrate You for me has been about growth. Um, Even though I do have a team of 700 women and men in my business, what people fail to realize about me is I'm very shy and I'm a real introvert and I don't like crowds. So things of this nature are bringing me out, put it that way. It's putting me out in the forefront. It's forcing me. I love people and I love one-on-one interactions. But when it comes to broadcast, going live, standing in front of a room of people, that's when I shy away. And it's not because I don't have anything to say. I'm just shy. So this has been a growth experience for me. And being connected with Celebrate You and getting the opportunity to share the health things that I share on Wellness Wednesday, they help keep me accountable to me because I have to keep myself together just like I'm encouraging other people to keep them or get themselves together in a healthy way. So for me, it's been about growth. I've met some wonderful people. The networking has been great. But what I really, really love is the camaraderie. And I love that.
Yeah, 750 more people. I know you love that, Miss Shy.
But I can talk one on one. It's the crowd that gets to me.
And you're doing well at it.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, just
Thank you.
and see that's another thing. I said that as an example because one thing of celebrating you, we need to always help collaborate with each other and encourage each other. So that's so important. That's what we see and celebrate you as well. So let's go to Miss America Supermom.
Right.
Celebrate you. What it mean to you? Oh, I'm
Well,
rhyming.
for me, it's about sharing and smiling. So sharing is, whatever you've learned, you share with others. So the Celebrate You community has been such a blessing to me as once I was named Woman of the Month, I mean, my business has just catapulted to higher heights with different platforms to be able to talk about the importance of mental wellness. Depression is a subject that many people shy away from. They don't want to admit it. It affects women, men, old, young. And the platform that I was blessed to have with Celebrate You has just been a godsend because I have just done nothing but continue to propel myself forward with different platforms to be able to share that message. And I say it's about smiling because I also have learned to create a movement around depression to be proactive about it. So, smile is sleep, mood, inner voice, laughter, and energy. So, making sure that you be mindful of those 5 areas so that you can prevent yourself from going through 13 years of depression like I did. So, that's what Celebrate You is to me, smiling and sharing.
I like
Love
that
it.
acronym. That's good. So, look, Miss Luana, I know you kind of did a little bit about Celebrate You, but what is your intake for yourself about Celebrate You?
For me, it's everything that everyone has said here. Believe it or not, if you had asked me 2 years ago, because Celebrate You is 18 months, if I saw myself doing this, I would say absolutely not. I mean, that's just like, for what? Why? But just being obedient to, the prompting of God and how he bends your life in such a way. And where I thought I was giving, I am receiving so much from the love, the encouragement, the inspiration, the motivation, the brilliance that is on the page. So, what Celebrate You for me has taught me and shown me truly the power of sisterhood. I've been so blessed by that.
Yes, yes, I have to agree. I mean, with us being 18 years in for the platform for the movement,
18 months.
18 months. Well, I'm prophetizing here.
I was gonna say, she's
It's
predicting the
going to be
future of
18.
it.
Speak that, Barbara. Speak that.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I'm speaking of consistence. I knew what I was talking about. No, I'm just thank you, ladies. That's why I love each other. We always have each other's backs. Yes. But
Mhm.
anyway, so that, like Luana said, I mean, a long time ago, I was like, wow, could this even happen where I'm just like out here doing this show? So Celebrate You. I'm telling you, ladies, you have all inspired me, each and every one of you on this panel. You have truly inspired me. And that's why my mission for myself, in my own business, is to always make you all shine. So I'm so glad that I can be just a piece of your success. And we are looking forward to the gala on February 6th. I'm telling you, so everybody out there, buy the tickets. I had it up there. I'm going to put it up there again. It's just $10, and all the proceeds goes to help heal humanity. We chose a charity because we wanted to make sure that, as we say, we want to give and we want to be out there to help the world. And this particular organization is helping the world through helping children, homeless, they're feeding. I mean, just last month in December for the whole 30 days, they fed, I think they told me, over 500,000 children and women. So that alone, within a month's time, that they accomplished that. But they need help, and we're here to help them. So that's part of the whole helping humanity out there. Like we said, ultimately the nation and the world we're going to take on. So that's what we're doing right now. So, ladies, any last words before we close out?
I'd just like to acknowledge Josie because you posted on a Wellness Wednesday the bomb diggity coconut water turmeric ginger drink, and I have to tell you, it is absolutely like drinking a yoo-hoo. It's kind of like you slurp, not a yoo-hoo, a quick where you slurp it down. It is my favorite, so thank you for that. And Lachelle, when you talked about sharing, you are absolutely the queen of sharing, because I have met so many people because of you. Little introductions, hey, who wants to do this? So you are the queen of sharing as well. Thank you.
My
Awesome.
pleasure.
Awesome. So everybody, again, February 6th, tickets are on sale now, $10. And see these lovely ladies again. We're going to honor them that day and also find out who the Woman of the Year is going to be for 2020. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
Woohoo!
Love
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Hello, well, I'm back. And see, I'm telling you, I left that on the tickler to make sure that everybody, and I'm going to be, excuse me, I'm going to be telling you about the gala from now until February 6th. I am so proud of those ladies. We are so proud. It is a movement. And I kept saying it is a movement. So I just want everybody to know, come out that day. It's on a Saturday. It's from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And it's Eastern time. I got to always say that, Eastern time. And you will see a gala online. This is going to be a virtual gala that you will not want to miss. We are hyping it up for the ladies. We're making sure that we know that they are being celebrated, and also make sure that you are all being celebrated, because each and every one of you truly, truly deserves to know that you are awesome, that you're amazing, and you should always celebrate yourself. So I will have next week, we'll have 3 more of the ladies come on that you get to meet them and see what they're about and understand why they were chosen Woman of the Month last year and why they are nominated for Women of the Year for 2020 on our gala on February 6th. So with that, we are ending our show today, but I will be back on Friday with Madeline, our expert, and a special, special guest, which I'm not going to tell the name right now. I always like to leave that kind of secretive. So with that point, please, as I always say, I say your PPD, show your PDPP, your purpose, passion, and drive in your life, in your heart, in your soul. I say that as your foundation, because that moves you, propels you, because everything that's going on in the world, sometimes, a lot of times, we cannot control it. We cannot control it, but we can control here, and we control who we are. So with that said, I love everybody, and I will see you on Friday.